Hello everyone and welcome back to another edition of Euro Daily. I'm Adrian, this is Rabona TV, and thanks for joining us once again. Or if you're new around here, maybe you should subscribe so you can join us once again. What do you think of the matches today? Yesterday I should say. Turkey bad, Italy good? That's the video. Finland took on Russia to get the second round of Euro 2020 matches kicked off, and it was the Finns who nearly opened the scoring early in St. Petersburg. The hero who scored Finland's first goal at the tournament, Locatelli, came oh so close to elevating his tally to 2 from 2 in this tournament in the early exchanges. What a start that would have been, but it was called back. But from then on, the Russians really took control of this match, limiting Finland to infrequent forays forward. Locatelli, the most dangerous player for Finland, Teemu Pukki, having some difficulties at times imposing himself in this tournament, but he had some really good flashes. After a flurry of opportunities spurned by Russia, including a few from Artem Dzyuba, Alexei Miranchuk of LAKEY cut inside and arrowed the ball into the top corner. A beautiful strike, but I think the Finnish defenders will be upset with how much room they gave him. Until that point, they had been okay, but when given the opportunity, Miranchuk took it. Take notes, Dzyuba. Atalanta propaganda aside, Finland did improve in the second half and perhaps should have scored an equalizer. But the Russians defended pretty admirably. 5 block shots from 8 attempts in the second half alone. That's huge. Russia hold on for 1-0, blowing this group wide open now with 3 teams on 3 points. Still, Denmark and Belgium have to play their second match of the group. Now this was a fun one. The last time Wales and Turkey faced each other, the match ended 6-4, and with the open nature of this one, I mean, it really could have emulated that scoreline. I don't know what it is with Turkey, but again, I feel like they were sitting back way too much and were just sort of inviting pressure onto themselves, giving Gareth Bale far too much room to create, giving Ramsey far too much license to roam forward from the midfield. They nearly paid for it on one occasion, and they absolutely paid for it right before the half. Slightly against the run of play in that moment, actually. Turkey were rallying a little bit at that time, and then they got scored on. Bale with a stunning assist as he found Ramsey in behind the Turkish defense, where he took the ball down well off of his chest and then sort of bounced it past the keeper. What an assist from Bale. Very, very good. Tons of credit to Ramsey as well for the control and the composed finish on this occasion. And wouldn't you know it, in the second half when Turkey played on the front foot and took the game to Wales, they looked the far superior side. They seem to have an issue with how they start games. Their approach is off. They can't seem to get their initial approach at least right, and they end up paying for it. It's only once they're already behind that they start trying to play football, when they are forced into doing it. And though to be fair, like I said, the first goal of the game sort of came against the run of play as Turkey were having a good spell going forward at that time. But as soon as they commit men forward, they concede. Turkey is a bit disappointing in this tournament, as all things were pointing toward them being a good, difficult side to beat. Late on, Bale got another brilliant assist for a 2-0 win for Bales, absolutely making up for the penalty that he had missed earlier in the half. I mean, Turkey not picking up on what Bale was going to do from the second corner, considering he did the exact same thing moments earlier, is definitely condemnable and proof they had, lost their heads a bit at that point. So things are looking pretty grim for Turkey at the moment. 0 points from their first 2 matches, and they face Switzerland next. Not an easy side by any stretch, especially with the levels the respective teams have shown. This was the match that Turkey needed to win in order to put them in a position where they could move on in second or third. And now it's looking as though Wales will do just that, and deservedly so. They could have scored far more than 2 against Turkey, but that was enough. 4 points from 2 matches. Good times for Wales, undefeated. I love the bravery that Italy is playing with right now. The way they go forward. Chiellini moving up to join as Italy are passing it around the 18, and we're only in the 12th minute of a group stage match at 0-0. The back heels, the overlapping runs from Di Lorenzo and Spinazzola, 2 very important pieces to this Italian attack. The off-ball movement, the distribution of the center backs, the sharp one-touch passing. I mean, Italy is just very fun to watch at the moment. And they were dominant against Switzerland. The one outlet in the first half for Switzerland was Bale and Bolo, because otherwise Switzerland were extremely passive. They were sitting deep, not interested in going at Italy at all. There was a massive gap between their attackers and the defense. One thing they did that Turkey failed to do was prevent Italy from building from the back. You know, they would press Donnarumma and the center backs and force them to go long at times. So I guess that was a positive for them. But following Chiellini's unfortunate goal that was disallowed, he ended up going off injured, which was always going to be a risk. Acerbi brought on, which, as James Horncastle pointed out, he partnered Bonucci for most of qualifying, so they certainly have an understanding of some sort. Perhaps not as much as, you know, a Chiellini and Bonucci partnership built over many years, but they're certainly very familiar with each other. Regardless, the two Italian center backs did an incredible job of icing out Embolo and Seferovic. Seferovic was wearing an invisibility cloak out there, but Jorginho played a big role once again in the defensive assuredness and their transition to attack. Another thing that Italy has been incredible with is how quickly they transition. And once they get the ball, watch out, because they are so direct. Attack is the best defense for them, and they had Switzerland on their heels often. The Swiss looked shell-shocked for much of the first half, really, constantly losing their shape, scrambling to get back into position. They looked tired. I just think they couldn't handle this sort of tempo that Italy were playing at. They weren't used to it. That speed that Italy were changing from attack to defense. They knew exactly where the outball would be, whether that was Berardi dropping or Insigne, or the most common choice being, you know, Insigne tucking in and Spinazzola booking it down the line. In the second half, an absolute soul crusher for Switzerland as they were rallying, only for Italy to go in the other direction, and Locatelli once again scored, adding to his first half goal. Very different from the first half goal, which was a great run by Berardi. I mean, first of all, the ball from Locatelli that played through, oh my goodness. Then the ball cut back from Berardi and then a tap in for Locatelli. But his second goal, precision strike from the edge of the box on his weak foot straight into the bottom corner, no chance. With Switzerland needing an equalizer, their fullbacks were caught out time and time again. I don't even know how many times I saw 3 Italian attackers running at the retreating 3 center backs of Switzerland. And of course, late on, Ciro Immobile finally got the goal that he was looking for as he spurned a couple of chances earlier in this game. Another shot from distance that perhaps Jan Sommer would have wanted back. But regardless, it was a score that fit the flow of the match. This is a form side that's well drilled. And as Uncle Sharma was saying when I went on his channel after the match, Italy are one of the few international sides that manages to resemble a club team. They have a clear idea of what they are doing. They know where their teammates are at all times, and they have the technical proficiency to execute the ideas that Mancini is trying to instill in them. So everyone will be talking about how Italy have never scored 3 goals at a European Championship before, and now they've done it twice in this tournament. That's absolutely massive from them. But what's crazier is that they are now unbeaten in 29 matches and have kept 10 clean sheets consecutively. That is very impressive. So after 2 matches, Italy are through to the round of 16 and we'll wait to see who they play from Group C. Wales on 4 points and they face Italy next. 3rd place up for grabs between Switzerland and Turkey. So, were you impressed by Italy? Waiting to judge them in the knockout rounds, have them as your favorites. Let me know your thoughts on all things Euro below. Always fun to read those thoughts from yourself. But beyond that, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, then do be sure to subscribe so you can find your way back for more Euro Daily. Among other things, throughout the club season, we do it all. But yeah, thanks guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Ciao.